This is the final video for this week. In this video, we'll first of all go through a few more terms, talk about the business context of contract negotiation, and then go over the next steps preparing for the group discussion in Brightspace. In the EBSCO contract, under for termination, Section A talks about breach. A breach is a legal term that means that one of the parties has failed to meet their obligations in a substantive way, and so this failure is sufficient that we're considering or actually terminating an agreement. For example, if students are downloading the entire database, that would be grounds for termination. Under A also talks about the remedy. So if there is a breach, there can be an option for the breaching party to remedy the situation or make things right. For example, a library can take steps to block an IP address and engage in systematic downloading so that they can retain their access under the license. Section 6, General E in EBSCO, refers to the entire agreement. The intention of this section is to make it very, very clear that there is no agreement outside of this written contract. If an EBSCO salesperson promised something and it is not in this contract, EBSCO has no obligation. If EBSCO were to require students to click through a license and the terms differed from this one, this contract would apply, not the click-through. In CRKN, there's a number of terms that refer to technical things that libraries use. So for example, under 6.5 title lists, KBART is a technical standard for journal title list that helps libraries to provide services like lists of electronic journals. A knowledge base that they refer to in this section is a library list of journals for which they have usage rights. Under 6.6 Discovery Services, an example of a discovery service is the Search Plus that you can see on the University of Ottawa Library's main screen. Under 6.2 MARC records, a MARC record is a technical standard for electronic library catalog records. Also under CRKN 7.1, reasonable efforts. This is a common phrase that libraries are looking for in contracts because libraries have a limited ability to control the actions of students, faculty, and staff. So you want to promise to make reasonable efforts, not to absolutely promise that no one will ever do anything outside the agreement, or making best efforts. So the term reasonable is meant to take into account that libraries have limited budgets, for example. As these examples illustrate, knowing what to negotiate in a contract involves understanding the business context. If you're negotiating a contract with or as a consultant, you probably want to be very clear about deliverables and timelines. If you're negotiating an expensive contract for software, it helps to understand what might go wrong so that you can include a contingency plan in the contract. Next, briefly review the remaining sections of the EBSCO and CRKN licenses, and then it's time to go on to the group discussion preparing for contract negotiation in Brightspace.